But needless to say, I have a serious problem when it comes to holding on to objects I don't need, which is partially why I struggle immensely with the inventory management side of this game as well. So I can almost make an argument for any of the trash we find, while conversely probably throwing out tons of objects that everyone in their right mind is seeing me do and immediately realizing it for the terrible decision that it is. But that's, I guess, besides the point, neither here nor there. Okay, dokie friends, come one, come all. Take a bite here, get a taste of IMB. Fantastic. Every time I don't play Conjurer for a while, I forget how much I like it. Because IMB, I feel, actually gives some of that tingling satisfaction that I was just talking about in regards to Fallen Prism. Specifically, though, that one I feel is a little more centric to Djinni, just because you have the infinite casts of it as well, and so those factors put together make for just an absurd method of being able to clear through packs of enemies without a care in the world. So just love to see it. Let's take you on a little bit of a journey, shall we? Okay, never mind. One prism was enough to take care of a Rhyme Drake here without too much concern. And I guess that's that. That is lair cleared out. Holy moly. So the question then becomes, what do we wish to do next? We could head over to our Orc entrance, see how Orc is feeling. As long as it's mostly melee enemies, we're in a brilliant spot in that side of things as well. Regular dungeon, if we want to continue down that road, we just have to keep in mind that there's an Etin and a Boulder Beetle, neither of which we're especially happy to deal with. At least now we do officially have some Terrari Needles, so the Boulder Beetle shouldn't be too much of a concern. And in fact, I think I will head that direction. Back up to regularly scheduled dungeon we go, and let's actually head to a new stairwell, just to get as much of a full breadth as we can for what we're dealing with. Yeah, come right this way, my troll friend. Don't even need your skin. Keep that for yourself. Perfect. And speak of the devil, let's just immediately poison the ever-living crap out of you, shall we? And then we can juggle you a bit, and it's much safer than dealing with that son of a gun earlier. So that is fantastic. Reach out and grab ya, and then probably just couldn't even put IMB on our quick cast, but Magic Dart is probably the safest bet, just to make sure that I'm not accidentally wasting mana when we otherwise need it saved for the future. And we'll see if and when our Etin buddy decides to show their face here, shall we? But okay, as mentioned before, Invo can come up a little bit just to make sure that we have the ability to phone a friend when in our time of need here, when I find myself in times of trouble. Greater Demon keeps calling me. What else do we wish? I mean, Evocation's not bad. We have a nice selection of wands. We do have the Lightning Stick and Condenser Vein, both of which are pretty decent. I'm also eyeing up the defensive skills, deciding if it is time that we start biting a little bit of that bullet as well. But want to just be sure that we're not biting off too much of or more of a bullet than we can chew. ABF indeed. At least that's the dream, pal. When you're an adventurer protagonist like me, it's all about the murder, baby. That's why we get into this profession, which is the truly messed up part about adventuring. That's what they don't teach you in adventuring school. Ooh. Hello, my centaur warrior friend. You could definitely be a bit of a problem child. So let's Phone a friend again here. Get some trees up in this mix. Oh, the trees are fueled by the Dryad. Interesting. We had that thought earlier, and so that's something nice to confirm. Got to be careful not to IMB here. Do not want to give any additional space there by any means whatsoever. That is perfect. Eden, friend, has got to have heard all this ruckus, right? We've been making a hoot and a holler over here for the last while. No? Are both of your heads hard of hearing? Nothing wrong with that, of course. All the due respect for deaf culture, but just surprising because it's not something we usually see on Monsters in the Dungeon. But okie dokie. Oh, there's the Curari. Okay, it makes sense that I did see it before. We just left it by the wayside, probably because we immediately started running for our very lives, as is oftentimes the case here. But hello? Hello, my two-headed friend? No? No dice? Where the heck are you, besides waiting for the worst possible opportunity to jump scare us? In fact, just to be safe here, we're going to forget the entire level, and let's re-explore it again. Chances are we'll run into you. Hello, sir. It is lovely to see you, of course. Not being completely honest with myself or you, but regardless, I definitely prefer to be polite if at all possible, as we take a nasty hit there. Mace of Holy Wrath giving me terrible flashbacks to our poor demon spawn. But okie dokie. Back onto the regular flow of things. Hopefully smooth sailing for the foreseeable future. 6 potions. I was about to say I've got to be curing, and one of these days that has to be the case. But I guess not today. Vile Clutch does not work on you, right? Anything non-substantial, of course, not really going to be much of a contender for Grasping Hands. Oh, that is Centaur Pack, for sure, if I ever saw one. But let's actually wait it out. We're in this relatively safe position, so I actually want to get surrounded by these sons of guns, just so we can guarantee that they're not able to fire from afar here. That is perfect. Sorry, my two-headed ogre friend. After facing off against your much scarier cousins, I'm sorry to say that you don't really hold too much power here anymore. I know it's rude of me to think, much less say, but unfortunately, it's the truth, and sometimes you just have to be brutally honest with your new monster friends. Let them know what's up. And not too shabby here. Yeah, it's always a weird mix. I feel like we're moving at a half-decent clip just because Conjurers are such a stable start. We're feeling pretty safe at the moment. But at the same time, it always feels so much slower, largely because of just setting up Prism. You know, there's no equivalent to just smashing the tab key infinitely, besides when we can do infinite IMBs like this. Oh, okay. I should be slightly more cautious as to how we're handling things. Let's not die to a gargoyle early on. Again, 1 gargoyle death per day is kind of the upper limit that we try to hit, or rather stay under in our journey here. And Centaur Warrior Zombie, perfect. So this time for real, I mean 5 potions, that's gotta be curing, right? Fantastic, and so it is. Oh me, oh my. We have fun here, folks. I was about to say I'm gonna accidentally push this Tengu into the alarm trap, and we do indeed manage to do exactly that. Great work, me. But this is actually a half decent spot. We're sitting on the stairs so we can see who comes, see who is listening. Oh, I see. Never mind. Not at all a factor. Well, that's, I guess, nice in its own way. And let us reach out and grab you. That's what I should be doing. This is just not a good stairwell to go down, right? I mean, as long as all the enemies decide they want to group around on the left side, they want to form more of a semi-circle than anything else, then we're okay, but unfortunately, that's not a guarantee that I can make to any reasonable degree. Cattle-Plebis is kind of interesting. Don't love fighting one in this position where we're kind of tucked into a little corridor. But it will accidentally petrify all of the other friends of theirs. So something to be said for that. I need one more step. Don't really feel safe doing so. Oh gosh. The barbs. Oh, the barbs. Oh, Barbara. And let's just get the heck out of there. At the very least, we are now in a much better position to come back this direction as well, and let's just clear out the remaining stragglers here, shall we? It does mean that our Cattle-Plebis friend is kind of stuck in this awkward spot because the corridor is, again, just not a great place to face off against our petrifying friend. Unfortunately, that's kind of what we've done to ourselves here. So not great. Let's just start bouncing you around, my friend. Fantastic. Ah, right. And that makes a lot of sense that we'd immediately run into you. How foolish of me. Well, can at least pop one back there. We're in a relatively open space. Kind of taking liberties with that definition there, but... Oh, what the heck? This is a weird floor, man. Okay. So we can see that one of our designated stairs from the floor below comes up, assumedly somewhere in that center fortress area. Don't know what we'll find there, and so now my brain is rattling off the possibilities and not feeling as great about it as it otherwise could, but hopefully not something we have to be too worried about, at least for the time being. And have I gotten more spells? No, Starburst's still sitting there as the last solid or concrete change, and I'm slowly but surely getting better at actually using Vile Clutch, or rather remembering to use Vile Clutch because of how stupidly strong it is. I love that this is a nerfed version of it too, which is just silly at the end of the day. Well, now we swap over strategies a little bit though, start blasting the bejesus out of our new friends here, and as long as they can never get close, not too much of a threat, even if they are electrical themed, which of course is not something we're currently especially well suited to deal with. Brother, no. I hate to do this, but such is life. It's a Djinn eat Djinn world out there, and I've always said this. And let us see. Did I never put on my +2 pair of gloves? I just took off my old set? Maybe I got interrupted. That's the excuse I'll give until proven otherwise. Makes me feel a little bit better about myself. So that's nice. And there's our stairwell up into the unknown. Yikes, yikes, yikes. For you, friend, I guess Starburst might become our next best bet. That's probably not the case. That feels a little bit silly. In fact, even something like Searing Ray is 2d8. Starburst is 6d12, so it is the only thing we have that's quite at that degree of damage potential. Yikes. Large rock to the face is not how you want to start off your day. If you could be so kind as to refrain, my friend. And the Frost Heart as well kind of fits into the same category as Bad News Bears, as long as we're out in the center here. In fact, let's get some trees. See how that goes? Dryad, do you have any shot of surviving? Honestly, much better than I expected. I feel like I'm definitely still missing some pieces of the puzzle when it comes to Summoned Forest. There are some glimpses behind the curtain as to where it could be useful. But for the time being, unless I was playing on a more summoning-centric character, I can't imagine we'll be using it too much besides, again, just for the fun side of things in order to experiment and try to get a bit of a litmus test going for how effective the spell can be. Regardless, we just have this floor to go, and then we can head back up to Lair. I guess the other consideration there is that I did immediately go back to ignoring the other potential option for us, which of course is that stairwell up into the stone region, the as of yet unascertained Stone Keep. And so that's maybe a question that we'll have to answer for ourselves coming soon here. And 1% chance of banishment? Okay. I was definitely worried that would be a heck of a lot higher, so don't mind that at all. Fortunately, this is also just a nice place to fight because we have this sweet little cubby hole. Should have thought, though, that, yeah, I guess traditional damage-wise, Louise still could very easily be a problem child. Oh my god, Kirky is here as well? You mean if I wanted to trap carbon, save the planet, chain cast it? True, but I feel like in our history, in our past experiences in the game, we're generally doing the opposite of trying to save the planet. Largely, it's accidentally burning down large swaths of the forest, so unfortunately, that seems to more commonly be our MO. But okie dokie, definitely starting to feel the effects of things here. A teleport scroll is a little bit risky just because we're sitting at a rough amount of health. Could just start walking back, and as long as the slimes body block, as long as the slimes are so kind as to make sure they have our back from a defensive standpoint, we're actually doing okay. And in fact, yeah, do you know what? Azrael should just die. Louise, one moment, please. Are you okay if I put you on hold? So sorry for the inconvenience, but we'll be right back with you in no time. And now we can just go into the rinse and repeat strategy. Probably should reach out and grab you as well. Fantastic. Okie dokie, and that should basically clear us up here for the moment. Or not at all, never mind. Centaur Warriors, still very much a problem. If you could walk towards me at least a little bit. Thank you, my friend. And let's not blast ourselves in the face with a lightning rod here, if at all possible. But Ice Blast, on the other hand, can just try and snipe our equine buddy. Okay, and that's just at least the slightest bit of a sigh of relief. We can back our centaur buddy up into a corner. Plus 11 trident. It's pretty fancy stuff, but probably not going to beat us using this artifact sword as a stat stick, at least not for the moment here. try to keep our mind open just in case something does crop up that we could immediately replace. Oh, hi, Jorgren. How are you doing? I didn't realize we'd have another unique. What a pleasant surprise. It's good to see you. How the hell are you, friend? And what can I do with you? We can drop something like that. Oh, Nessos also make an appearance. To what do I owe the pleasure? Well, I'll be darned. Melii, Nessos, Jorgrun, very quickly turning into a situation where we probably should just leave, but as always, I am desperately tempted to push our luck as much as I possibly can get away with. We at least have willpower, so paralysis from our ogre mage friends shouldn't be too much of a problem. But this is a weird pack of ogres. I'm surprised we haven't run into Lodul? Is that their name? Unique from, I think that was just the version before this one that they were added in, right? Unfortunately, don't recall their name. I just know the sound we make when we take a Lodul's life. And let us continue to lay the groundwork, a solid foundation for our future friendship. Hey, Jorgren, doesn't that sound lovely? Get along in paradise, Jorgren down, fantastic. And now we probably just spam the ever-living crap out of IMB to take care of the rest of you kiddos. And that is not too shabby. I should be slightly more cautious. If one of those Tengu had been a Reaver, then we're kind of putting ourselves in harm's way without that much of an advantage coming out from it. But fortunately, not the case. And so we do not suffer any of the consequences of our actions. A buckler's kind of tempting. In fact, that could give us some direction on the skill training side, because I've been fumbling my way slightly. But we can just put on shields here, and let's start training that up. 4 or 5, somewhere around there should make any of the casting penalties negligible. Come right this way, friend. And perfect. I hear an angry buzz, yet I see no angry bees, so something is going on there. They must be around one of these corners. Speak of the devil. Why, hello there. Perfect. And then tons of ID scrolls is actually a huge boon for us because we're still just sitting on all these consumables. Yeah, Scroll of Fear, love to see it. What else can we find by our way? We could go for one of the single stacks. Hoping for like acquirement could be nice. Maybe, just maybe. I don't think there are any of the big scrolls that we need. Okay. Never change DCSS. I love when the luck comes in strong. But let's see, a manual of ice magic. Interesting. So I'm curious how these manuals will work. If it just increases the aptitude on ice magic, then we don't currently have anything in that department. We could still end up with like Polar Vortex. Could be fun, could be nice. Because is there even anything else here I want? Gold, I currently have no need or use for, that we have not cleared Orc yet, so hopefully there's some changes in the works there and we might find a reason to save. And in fact, what we'll probably do is just leave that acquirement scroll for the time being. Let's head up to Orc now that we've finished exploring the regular dungeon. Except, hold up, we have not finished exploring the regular dungeon. One moment. So we will instead come say hello to our old friends here. Hydra, could you back off? Thank you. And fortunately, we have a bit of an escape. Trying to think, the Centaur Warrior, can I try to kill the Hydra with one more attack? I guess if they step next to us, I'm kind of boned, so no. Let's not do so. Let's not be silly about things. I Do I even go back up, or do I just save this for when we're way stronger than we currently are and we can just blow through it without a care in the world? As Djimmi the eclecticist. Eclecticist. Never heard that word conjugated in that fashion before.